workflow anytime, anywhere. In this example, U-LINC is being leveraged to streamline the accounts payable invoice approval process. We will see the process flow through the following steps: receive an invoice from a vendor, view the invoice and save it to the document library, enter the payables transaction in Dynamics GP, have the transaction be approved for payment, and view a list of current transactions, payments, and corresponding documents. The process begins when Jeff Block, the purchasing assistant, receives an invoice from a vendor in his email. Jeff saves the invoice to his desktop. In this case, the invoice is a PDF, but it could just as easily be a document or a scanned image as well. He then proceeds to place it in the dedicated invoice folder according to his company's policy. Jeff then double-checks that his recent addition to the document library shows up on the U-LINC dashboard. Note the file name of the invoice. Now Jeff opens Dynamics GP and proceeds to Payables transaction entry. The voucher number is supplied and Jeff selects Invoice for the document type. After entering a description, he focuses on the document number. Note that he enters a document number as well, and that this exactly matches the file name of the PDF he just uploaded to the dedicated invoice folder. Jeff then posts the invoice. A quick look at the dashboard shows that U-LINC has updated the invoice information using the data entered in GP. Also, upon posting, U-LINC sends an email notice to Dan Caminos, the purchasing manager, asking him to approve the invoice for payment. This customizable email contains several important items, including a link to the original vendor invoice and a link for Dan to follow in order to approve or reject the transaction. Dan can also follow a link directly to the payables transaction entry in GP, sparing him the hassle of having to do a manual lookup. Dan or any other user who sees the posted invoice will notice that this payment is pending approval via the U-LINC workflow ribbon. More information is available via the button link in the header. Although Dan could access the original invoice PDF from his email, he decides to simply view it from here since U-LINC has made it available from within GP as well. The invoice is acceptable, so Dan decides to approve it. This is as simple as clicking on the task link from within the email. A window appears allowing Dan to review the details of the task and enter comments before actually clicking the Complete Task button. Upon approval, the hold is released automatically and the invoice can then be paid. Jeff Block is notified that the invoice has been approved and that he can proceed with payment. Dan can also monitor the status of payables transactions via the dashboard summary screen made possible by U-LINC. As we have seen, this screen is updated in real time as the data and the status of the transaction changes. U-LINC gives Dan and his team the streamlined processes, notification, and real-time interactions they need to be top performers within the organization. Thank you for watching U-LINC.